So I don't normally do these kind of videos where I put in post commentary and kind of ramble on about things. I actually had a huge video planned for this topic because I kind of saw it coming, but I think it's been stirring up a little bit more of a conversation, and I thought it'd be interesting to kind of talk about this. Also, I didn't really feel I'm kind of sick right now. I've been having a stomach ache. Don't worry, it's just low energy. So I didn't really feel motivated to do the normal until video that I had planned for today. I'm sure I'll do it eventually. But I think this is an interesting topic that I feel blessed to be able to have the opportunity to have a platform to talk about it. So I'm just going to kind of ramble on and talk about my thoughts on it. And don't worry, I'll still cut it down. I'm not going to show you the full ramblings. That would just be absurd. But if you're a part of the Splatoon community, which if you're watching this, most likely you are, um, I think you'll see the effects of what phenomena is kind of happening on either side of the spectrum. If you're a content creator, I'm going to start with that because I come from that side of things. You'll feel a little bit more stressed than usual. You'll feel a little bit more pressure, maybe a little bit unmotivated. And I think, although there could be many factors that come into play, this could be one of them. If you're just a general fan of the series Splatoon or the content that is made for it, you might be a little bit more frustrated than usual to be able to enjoy the game to like you would normally, or maybe you're watching a favorite streamer or maybe a content creator's Splatoon videos, and it just doesn't seem to have that magic or that spark. And it's very strange because you can't really pinpoint where all this is coming from. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that the updates are coming to a close. Now, don't worry, this seems very melodramatic. Is that the right term? But I promise this has a happy ending, and I promise this has a solution, so just hear me out. So as we know, the Splatfests are about to end, and as far as we know, the updates are now concluded for Splatoon 2, so we could have the next year or two of the game pretty much the way it is, minus, like I said, the Splatfest. So we can understand where the frustration comes in. We like updates, of course. Who wouldn't want updates to their favorite game? And when we know it's coming to an end, then we can feel a little bit of disheartened feelings because we don't think it's going to be nearly as fun anymore. And that can put a lot of pressure on content creators because at the end of the day, streamers, video creators, the people who develop the meta and strategies and how to be competitive, the pressure's on us as creators because we need to try to keep this game interesting and engaging for our audience, for fans. But the reason why I don't think that this is such a bad ending and why that I think this is going to still be fine, and in fact it's a very necessary process for the community, is the fact that we've kind of seen it in the prior game. Now, I haven't been part of many communities, in fact, any, in comparison to the Splatoon community. So maybe this is very no brainer, but it's very new to me. And maybe there's someone else that doesn't really see this. Maybe I'm wrong, and feel free to leave it in the comments below. But I feel like communicating my theory here and my take on it. I think some people might be interested to hear it out, and maybe at least it gets the conversation, the brainstorming going, because I don't think I'm the only one that's been feeling this way. When I think back at Splatoon 1, what had happened was the same thing. We got the game, we had about a year of updates or so, and then after the updates concluded, something had happened. Our community that had blown up and was continuously growing now started to shrink. And that makes sense, right? If you think about it, a lot of people didn't want to play the game anymore because although they do like Splatoon, if it's not an actively updated game, it's not as fun anymore and it starts to slowly drop off until the point that it would become just the diehard fans. I would say I'm probably in that boat myself. And this is a good thing. I think my fondest memories of Splatoon 1 was when we were at that stage, when we were a smaller family, when all the people that kind of like Splatoon, but not too much, kind of left our community, maybe to come back in Splatoon 2, or maybe never again. The people that were left over were the ones that would love Splatoon, would love any content that was made. We would just kind of all have a good time. And as heartwarming as that sounds, there's a contrast bridge that we got across to be able to get to that point. And that's, I think, what we're going through now with Splatoon 2, where we're transitioning into that. So, case in point, what I think we're seeing is people starting to get frustrated because they don't 100% love Splatoon. They like it, but they want updates. And when there's no updates available, or at least when we can foresee that there's not going to be updates available, the only natural thing to do is, I like this game, I want to enjoy it, how am I going to enjoy it? And they come to YouTube, they come to Twitch, they come to content creators in general to try to reinvigorate their love for the game. And although it may work for sometimes, in fact, it worked for me when I almost fell off of Splatoon 1. That was a thing. There's a lot of people that it won't work for. They'll say, "No, this it's not good enough unless you're able to give me some unique content in the game, not in like an edited or, a storytelling fashion or something like that, or adding comedy. I'm not really interested." And once they just get frustrated enough or kind of tired of the game, maybe it's not frustration, maybe it's just, I'm not mad, just disappointed, then they kind of leave. So how long will this last? Well, I think it's going to last until shortly after the Splatfest. We have the Splatfest until presumably June or July is supposed to be the last one. And if we don't hear anything else from Nintendo, then I think that's maybe a month or two after that, we're going to slowly see our community shrink. Uh, I don't think I can accurately say what that feels like to a fan, because maybe I fell in a little bit out of touch with that kind of feeling. But knowing as a creator, I speak out to you guys because I know that we would see a drop in views. We would see a drop in feedback and comments and interaction and a fan base and things like that. And that could be a little bit alarming because we may take that personally and think, oh, geez, that's me. That's my content is sucking. My content's not good anymore. Maybe I should just quit. And I don't think that's the case. I just think that the fan base as a whole for Splatoon at the time is just going to end up shrinking down. But what we will see is the people that we do get to interact with are going to be really sweet, really kind-hearted, love the game. They'll love anything as long as it's Splatoon. And that's good for the fans because as the creators see that kind of feedback from the fan base, I think that would only encourage them to make more Splatoon content and be creative in new ways. And it would take away from the mundane things. The content creators that are really creative, I think, would benefit from this because now all the colors are set on the palette and they can paint whatever picture they want and take the time that they want. And they're going to have to because there's not really much else to do, right? And eventually, of course, the next presumable thing would be Splatoon 3 being announced and then launched. And our small, close family of a community that loves Splatoon and its series and its characters and design and all that kind of stuff and gameplay would then welcome this brand new batch of people that maybe are coming to Splatoon 3 and coming into the series for the first time, whether you're a veteran of Splatoon 1 or now a veteran of Splatoon 2. And as exciting as that may sound, believe me when I say, coming from Splatoon 1, I think this stage we're about to approach is my favorite, because we become closer. But yeah, that's enough of my ramblings. I hope whatever footage I decide to put to this was to your entertainment. If you guys have any thoughts about this, please feel free to leave it down below. I will be looking at the comments. Maybe we can have a conversation about it. I really think that this is something that's not just in my head and that other people might feel the same. Or maybe not. Maybe you just got to hear me ramble. I don't know. This content is very different for me, so I like to thank my fans. I know which ones they are that are just going to love this regardless, just because they want to support me. You guys mean the world to me. I'll still be making the video that I wanted to make on this topic, so think of this as like a little sneak peek. And yeah, that's about it. I guess we'll just end it with like a heartwarming, I can't wait to see what's going to happen to us in the next few months. But I can't wait to see you guys with it.